Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Live with Roger. This is our gaming episode, and today we were planning on having Rapid Glitch come in uh, and kind of explain some of the stuff that we were going to be doing for the next Pokemon challenge that he wants us to do, which is Gen 2, but he wasn't able to make it, so we're just going to go over some of the stuff that I had to do with Rapid, me and Karma. I also wanted to mention too that Karma joined the Team Retro with me and Rapid on Nostalgia Gaming Retro. And welcome to Team Retro, Karma.
Thank you again.
So what do you think about this stuff? Are you willing to do Pokemon and stuff with us?
I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, nothing super depressing comes up between now and then.
No, I don't. I hope nothing does. I'm hold up. Let me take care of something real quick. Yeah, I have to take care of a beeping sound.
Was that her wheelchair?
No, that's my dad. He's got an oxygen tank, so I have to keep an eye on it and make sure he's not like pinching
Depriving
any.
himself. Yeah. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He pinches the door when he closes it too hard, because he likes to travel around the house, or he'll
Yeah.
run his wheelchair over the top of the hose. So,
You guys should be a cartoon. The cat should be over exaggerated and like even though he's not, you know what I mean, just mad because he wants his food. And the dog should be going crazy every time they go to the doctor and just like going back and forth, walking back and forth. You should even make the animals talk. And then she has to come in all the time and ask you something. Only when you start your stream, though. Never any other time. Just when the stream starts. Like,
yeah.
then Roger, and it'll be so freaking funny. That'd be a dope ass cartoon to watch.
No, I believe I've still got his notes for the gaming thing. I'm not sure, but if I don't,
Which which Pokemon was it that you did?
I did the Gen 1,
Okay.
and I've still got it. I actually went in and made my own version of it up because there's some things that I don't agree with on there.
Are we able to watch any videos that you have, or
Oh, I've already got them posted. I mean, they're all
I mean
over.
for the stream?
Oh, I could, but it's just basically like a walkthrough where you just watch me play the game and that's about it. So, um, let me see here. It would be under freaking nostalgia gaming. You just have to figure out where I'm at. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, there it is. Gaming. Discord channel. Alright, here we go. Pokemon Nuzlocke rules.
You gonna
So,
share the screen?
uh, I've,
Oh,
I've,
you can't.
I can, but give me a second. Let me see how I have. I've never really actually used a note on the screen share before, so
Or maybe if you can read it, it's fine. Just sometimes point of reference is
let me.
easier for me too.
Oh, okay. So, um, here we go. I can do it. It's not that hard of a thing to do, you know. I can do it. It's good. I just, like I said, I've never done it with just like a regular note. So,
Jesus Christ is here. Oh no, it's John. I saw JC. I didn't see the name until I went to Tile View. I saw just JC. Jesus Christ is here. Hi, John.
All right, so um, let me pull this up and share it. Now, the Nutslock rules basically is hello, John. The Nutslock rule is kind of strange. It's kind of like a well, first of all, it's self-imposed challenge. Like you can do this by yourself if you want to. You don't have to have people doing it like me and Rapid did, you know. And even Rapid had a hard time understanding what I was saying. Like this isn't a self-imposed challenge because like if you have another person kind of giving you the score like me and him did, then you're literally validating your gameplay. So that's like a score that's been validated, you know. And I pointed that out to him. Um, he didn't want to do it no more because it was too hard for him, basically, you know. But I thought it was a good idea.
Wait, wait, he made the challenge and then he didn't want to do it anymore because.
He didn't want to grade me no more,
Oh, because you were
because
getting too good. He probably thought you weren't going to be that good because you just started, and then he came
yeah.
and swamped it. That's funny.
But anyhow, according to Nutslock rules, when you start the Pokemon game, you've got a mercy rule, and where that is like when you go or you start the game, you have to go in and talk to the professor, and he is the one who ends up giving you Pikachu. Well, the professor has a pain in the butt grandson, and he's your arch rival. So the moment you get in there, your arch rival, and you get to name him who you want, he wants to battle you, do a Pokemon battle. Well, in
As
that,
soon as you start,
as soon as you start. Now, in that one, Rapid set up what he calls the Mercy Rule, and if you lose that first battle with the rival at the lab, it's only minus 1 point, and it won't count as a blackout. And blackouts are basically when you lose the fight, when you run out of Pokemon, and you end up blacking out, I guess. Yeah, that's basically what that's about. And it does,
ultimate defeat.
yeah, and it doesn't count as a blackout, and you only lose 1 point from it. Now you start out with 151 points. Okay. The Nutslock is a little. This one, like I said, is a little bit different from what most Pokemon Nuzlocks are. It's a variant. Now the key difference is that the players play for points, which a lot of Nuzlocks don't do.
What do they usually do?
They just play it for the challenge. They don't earn points as they go through or anything like that, you know. So on this one, you actually earn point, or you play for points. Basically, you can earn points and you can lose points for the things that you do in the Nuzlocke. So you start with a total of 151 points, and that's the same number of uh, as what the Pokedex is for Gen 1 games. And this variant of rules are similar to that of Game of Darts, where when you start with the high number, or when you start with a high number of points. But there are several things that can happen during the gameplay that can like kill or can and will deduct points, like when you're in a dart game, you know. Now it's the player's job to make it to the end of the game, okay? And when you make it to the end of the game, you become champion. now without reaching zero. That's the whole thing. So you start out with 151 points, and you have to make it there without hitting 0 points. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if that happens, it's considered a permadeath. So, um, and
How many levels are there?
and the game's over. Well, that's the thing. With Pokemon, there isn't really levels. It's kind of like you go from one area of the map to another area. Now, you do level up, but it's more you and your Pokemon, you know, than what it is the game going from level 1 to level 2. You know what I mean?
Now I do.
So basically, your Pokemon get stronger, you know, and that's basically where your points are, or where your levels are. How strong?
And that's based off. And that's based off of the amount of fights you win.
Well, that too, yeah. And let's see here. That's considered permadeath, and the game's over if you hit 0. And yeah, it's based off of how well how well your Pokemon gets stronger. You know what I mean? What you were talking about there. So, and there's many ways to lose points, or but only one way to gain points. So you can lose points from a lot of different things, but there's only one way that you can get extra points. And the I'll explain to you what these are. Okay, now to lose points, if you're playing with your Pokemon, you have to freaking all of your Pokemon have to be given a nickname. So when you capture a Pokemon, you have to name it something. Okay.
Okay.
And failing to give your Pokemon a name, or forgetting to do it, it's a loss of 5 points. So if you capture a Pokemon and you don't give them a nickname, you lose 5 points from the 151 points.
But that's not until you get to the end. So do you have time to
No, I
name
mean
it?
as you're playing, like when you're playing. John says, "I know now why I don't play Pokemon." But like when you're playing, like if you go to capture 'em,
Excuse me.
you okay?
Yeah.
When you go to capture them, you still have 151 points, so that's cool. But like when you forget to name your Pokemon, at that moment you drop down from 151 to 146 points. And
But like,
that's
what if you forget for 1 second and then you remember, like, oh yeah, and you're like not even off of that level or
you
whatever.
can't change the name. Like that's the thing, man. It's like once you name them, you name them. So you can't like go back and do it, or you know what I mean? Because they'll give some generic name for them in its place and stuff. But if you don't remember to do it, that's the name. So
Is that the rules of most Nuzlocke, or is that how Rapid has his?
that's the way it is with all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when you play a Nuzlocke challenge. That's one of the
One of
general
the
rules.
rules.
You have to name your Pokemon. And I know it doesn't sound important, but it does when you're actually playing. I mean,
Especially so you, because other people can find the same ones you can find, and then that way they know which one is which. Yeah, that makes sense to me though.
okay, so for every Pokemon that faints in battle, it's considered dead. Okay, and it's also a loss of 10 points. So like if you get in battle with another Pokemon and your Pokemon loses the fight, it's dead, and you lose 10 points from the 151 points. Okay,
Mhm.
so it goes now. If you beat the first challenge with the professor's grandson, you still have 150 1 points, but if you lose to him, you'll have 150. So say you lost to him and you lose a battle with a Pokemon, okay, and it dies,
Mhm.
then you lose 10 points the moment it dies. So it goes to 140. Now, if you got two of them and two of them dies,
141.
no, it's down to 130.
But like, isn't it 150? What do you start with?
151.
Uh,
Now, if you, like I said, if you lose that first battle, it goes to 150. Okay, so
oh, you only get 1 point, and then the rest are 10 points. Yeah.
right. So each time you lose a Pokemon, that you lose 10 points, and that Pokemon can no longer be played again.
Oh
So,
wow, that blows.
yeah.
So don't lose a good one.
Okay, yeah. And choose the ones that you want to use wisely. Don't just go grabbing them. You know, do the research and find out which ones you want to use on your team, because like that's what they basically are. Your Pokemon's a team that you have to choose to go through the game and beat them.
I know I want Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff and Pikachu are my favorites. So.
So be very careful about the ones you choose and make sure that they're the ones that are, because your objective is to beat the game. Okay. I don't like that either. I didn't want to go into the the gym or whatever the hell that is. Not the gym, but the academy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to beat all the gyms and be done with it. But
Uh-huh.
Rapid convinced me to go forward, you know. So I ended up doing it. Now, 10 points, and the Pokemon must be discarded from the party. And this only applies if trainer survives battle and does not black out. So this only applies to if you don't black out, if you don't lose the battle by blacking out. The rule still applies if a Pokemon faints out of battle due to being poisoned.
Oh
Okay.
my.
So if you black out, you do get a lot more points taken off of you. All right. So that's not like a plus. You know, I mean, like right here, they're only taking 10 points off of you for each Pokemon that dies, but when you black out, it takes off.
It eliminates everything, right?
Well, it gets really worse. So now if you're in battle with another Pokemon and that Pokemon becomes poisoned, and you come out of the battle, okay,
Yeah.
that Pokemon is still poisoned, so you have to get to a Pokeshop to heal it before it dies, or you lose that Pokemon even after the battle because the poison killed it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I didn't know that you could get poisoned because, like, wouldn't it just make sense not to eat anything given to you by your opponent? Like,
No,
you're in the
I mean,
middle of a battle and someone offers you a snack, you don't think that's
they ain't offering you no snack.
I have to say, you don't find that a little suspicious? Like, oh, my worthy opponent, here is your cupcake. Like,
Some of their weapons and the way they do it are poisoning. So
oh,
like,
so it's like getting bit by a scorpion or something.
yeah,
You don't know it's coming. I got you. Okay.
stuff like that. They don't give you no fudge sundae. They say let's be
Oh,
friends.
man. Why would you say Fudge Sunday?
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I know.
No, you shouldn't have, because now I gotta look at Uber Eats. Gross.
Okay, so now this is what's really important, and this is what people have a hard time with. Okay, it's the use of health or effects that heal, like items, potions, antidotes, and awakening. Stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Now, if you use those, it'll cost you 20 points for every time you use it, and that can get expensive if you're not careful. Cause
It's breaking up.
you know, So you gotta. You say it's breaking up.
It's better now. As soon as I told you it stopped. Yeah, it sounded like a robot, like you were talking about earlier.
All right. But did you catch that though?
If you lose 20 points for using the healing potions, I did.
Right. Now, there are some that I know that don't apply to that. Like elixirs don't count. You can use elixirs in the Nuzlocke. Now, HP ups are considered health items. They will result in point loss. So if you use HP ups, you'll lose the 20 points. But if you use elixirs, they won't hurt you. They won't take points off of you. And that's where it gets tricky with it with these points right here, because if you use your points on your these potions, then you're gonna also have to worry about it whenever a Pokemon dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kind of like go through and be wise about it. I personally never use any kind of potions. I actually had to use elixirs and stuff at the end with the last few battles, but that was the only time I ever had to use them.
What was your most useful tool?
Raw combat skills.
Nice.
Being the best I could be. John said my Pokemon would be dead every time I played, as I would forget everything. You should give it a try. You'd be surprised. I actually didn't know I'd be so good at playing Pokemon until I tried it, John. I mean, and that's just being serious. I refuse to play any kind of Pokemon game because of my nephews. When I was younger, and the reason why is because they all got obsessed with these card games and stuff, and I just refused to do it. But then when I finally started doing it with Rapid, man, I found out I was actually good at it,
and was enjoying yourself. You're going back for more.
Well, I'm only doing it because Rapid wants me to.
Yeah, right. If you believe that, I got some land to sell you in Timbuktu.
Well, I got a rep to uphold, so.
Oh, boy.
Now, this is another part. Alright, so if you use potions, it's 20 points every time you use them. But then you can also revive a fallen Pokemon. You can revive a dead one. But you have to be careful, because this comes with a heavy price, like it's written there, okay? It's a loss of 25 points for every Pokemon that you revive. So if you revive...
But you get your points back, right? From battling and stuff. You get your points back from battling and stuff, though, right?
No. What? There's only one way to gain points in this game, and that's it. And I'll be getting to that here in a minute. Okay. But there's only one way. Now, that's the reason why it's really something. You've literally got to think that through, because you have to budget those points so that you can make it to the end without hitting zero.
So it serves you best to get something that automatically does its own poison, and you don't have to use a potion for it.
Right. Now, you can revive your fallen Pokemon, but it's going to cost you 25 points. And these Pokemon centers that you go to revive them, those are free. So you can go to any of them and have these Poke Centers revive all your Pokemon without any points being taken off. Okay, so the thing is, though, if you're carrying a dead Pokemon and you
run into another battle.
No, if you're carrying a dead Pokemon on you, okay, that you have, the first thing you do when you get to these Poke Centers is put it in the computer. They have a computer system that you go over to and you put them into, and you put them in there with their life empty, Okay, because if you revive them, then they're for every dead Pokemon you get or have in there, they're going to take 25 points off.
Lord. Okay, I see what you're saying. So make sure you put them in there with their life empty first, because if not, it
Yeah,
counts as you reviving, but you get the free revival from the Poke Center. I got it.
right. Now, understand though, if you revive a fallen Pokemon, if you revive one that's dead, that's 25 points. So, say you get into battle and you have them in your inventory,
Hmm.
and you go into the Poke Center and you revive them and then put them in the computer, you still get 25 points taken off of you because you actually went up and allowed the Poke Center to revive it. So when you go in and if you got dead Pokemon, go straight to the computer, put it in the computer, and then revive the ones that aren't dead, and that's cool. So I I emphasize that because I did that. It actually made me mad. I got furious that I did that. I was
Especially when you find out that you could have done it for free.
no, I mean they were supposed to be dead. I mean I knew they were dead because they died in battle. Like they don't disappear. You know what I mean? They're still in your inventory when you lose a battle. Okay. And the only way to get rid of them is to go to the computer within these Poke Centers, and you can release them or you can put them in your inventory. Okay.
Why would you release them if it's free to put them back in your inventory when you're at the center?
Well, the thing is you want to put them in the computer system if they're dead, so that they can be held separate from your inventory, because you're going to take your living Pokemon after you do that. You're going to go to the Poke Center and you're going to heal those all the way up, and that's free.
I thought you were going to be able to bring the other ones back to life for free
Uh,
too.
it'll cost you 25 points.
Oh,
You
I thought you said at the center you could do it for free.
you can heal them for free. Now, see, if I turn around and use the potion, it would cost me 10 points each. Okay, it would cost me 10 points each for healing them. Now, if they die, they're dead. No, okay, they're completely
Unless
dead.
you take the 25 points away to bring them back to life.
So now, reviving a fallen Pokemon means you're reviving a dead Pokemon. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Not an injured one, just a dead one. So if you revive any dead Pokemon, that's going to cost you 25 points for each Pokemon that you revived. Not the ones that are injured, because they got a power bar, and as long as that power bar doesn't go all the way to the end, they're not dead. So those can be healed if you've still got power on them. But if
So
they,
kind of take them out the battle if you see their power getting low.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Now if it does go empty, then that means that's a dead Pokemon. Okay.
And that costs 25 to revive.
Right.
I got it.
No, and like I said, other than those, the ones that still have power in their power bar, those are free to revive in the Poke Centers. So you can do that. And that's the reason why I stayed on this topic as long as I have with you right now, because that was my big mistake. As a matter of fact, freaking Infamous called that or Rapid called that the Infamous something. He nicknamed it after me. So
It was the ultimate mistake. Yeah, not the infamous.
I did an Infamous. So it was pretty horrible. Now if you black out, okay, you lose your entire party. Every Pokemon that you have in your inventory
Mm-hmm.
that's on you is gone. Now, if you have them in the computer, those are safe. But the ones that are on you are just completely gone. You have to freaking discard them. And, well, really, the ones in the computer aren't even safe either. Because it'll cost you 50 points if you black out. All right, and then you have to begin all over again with the same points. So say you lost frickin' 25 points and you had 151, that'd be 176 points. So when you start over from the beginning again, you don't go back up to 151 points. You start at 176 points.
What you want 100? Wait, you want 176? That means you have more.
No, not 176. I was wrong. 126 points. That was my bad. Because say you die and you have 150 points, okay? And you black out. That'll take you down to 100 points. All right. And when you come back, because you have to start the game over, you start with 150 instead of, or 100 instead of 150.
Oh, so you get to start over. You just have your points deducted. I got you.
Right. Instead, the player will start with however they had after the 50 points was taken off. That's what I was saying. That's what hits you the hardest. Like if you black out, that's a bad thing. And up here, like you said, if you black out, the loss of points don't count. Like you don't lose 10 points for each Pokemon if you black out.
But you lose 25 points or 50 points.
Yeah,
50 points for the blackout. Yeah.
And 6, only one Pokemon can be captured per area, and this is where I had a hard time because Rapid Scottish, and like his writing is really, really strong Scottish accent. And
his writing?
Yeah, the way he writes, and at the time, Coco, or another guy that used to play, the one that Rapid doesn't like to mention.
Okay.
A Cosmic basically played too, and he's Scottish too. So I had two people that were playing that were Scottish playing Pokemon, and they kept writing stuff that was hard for me to understand, and this was one of the hardest, so I had to figure it out. And it says only one Pokemon can be captured per area, and you can't capture another one from the same location, route, cave as a previous captured Pokemon. Okay?
Oh, so you have to get Pokemon from new places every time.
Now on the map, there's different areas. When you get the Pokemon, you do this when it's best to get the colored version. The freaking what was it? I call it Gambit now, but it's actually Game Boy. Game Boy came out with Pokemon and then Pokemon Color. Now, the Pokemon Color shows the different areas. So when the tiles on the game starts or change colors, that's generally the end of each area. So when you go into another area, you can capture a different Pokemon than the one you just caught in that first area. You know what I mean?
I'm following you, but no, I have no idea exactly what you mean.
What happens if you lose all your points?
What was that?
What happens if you lose all your points?
Game over. You're done.
Okay.
But the good thing is you can always start over and do it again.
No.
And when you start over with the 150 again, right?
Yeah, if you're going to start over from scratch. So, there's nothing wrong with doing test runs on this too. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to do test runs and try it out, and then maybe learn a little bit as you go, I mean, do it. You know what I mean? But like, whenever you say, okay, I'm ready to take the challenge, then you take the challenge, and you present your video, and if you present your video, then freaking somebody else will like score it for you, and then you'll know, and you know what I'm saying, what your score is, and it's verified. It's not like a self-imposed challenge. Now you can make a self-imposed challenge too. Don't get me wrong, but like that's why I like the way me and Rapid do it, because like he went through and he looked at my game, and he's the one that gave me my score. You know what I mean? So he verified that this is the game I played, this is the score I got, and I did the same thing, you know, with. Well, no, I never did. I just helped edit. I had to go through and talk after I did it, because he had me start talking on my game videos, and I just don't like doing that for some reason. It just drives me nuts. So that's
You can go with the Minecraft videos.
So, well, gaming videos, I think like you take away from the game when you're running your mouth. Just play the game. People like to watch the game. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me.
Yeah, and I've always felt that way. It drives me nuts that I have to actually sit in the middle of a game and talk. Like, I don't know why.
Kind of could distract you.
Well, no, I don't know. It just.
Yeah, I stopped
No problem.
talking on game videos now, except for reviews. Only reviews I talk on now.
Yeah, I just, it drives me nuts. I cannot stand it. You know. And me and you've actually had that conversation before. I know we have. But and Rapid finally got me to do it. You know what I mean? And I'll do it now too. But especially when you're editing, and you have to freaking edit in certain spots to make it look good. But guess what? You're running your mouth. I hate that worse than anything else. I'm sitting there running my mouth when I know that's where I'm supposed to be editing the video. So.
Oh wow, yeah. And then you got to do a voiceover, right?
Well, I mean, there ain't no way to do that. So now I got a freaking conversation that's getting cut in half because I need to edit there. So.
Why you can't do a voiceover if you cut it out and just say the same thing again so it sounds right?
I'm not gonna.
Oh, because you don't want to do it. It's too much.
I used to do the voiceovers after playing the game, but it's not as good.
Yeah. You don't.
It isn't as good, definitely not.
And that's what I had to do with the Nutslock too, because I refused to talk on it. And finally, Rapid told me, look, go on in there and just tell everybody what the rules are. So I started doing these rules right here, reading them out so people knows about the game. And I made some comments eventually. And I finally got to where I could do it, but I still feel
prefer not to. Yeah.
I still feel that way about it. I have no desire to talk during the video games.
You have the desire to play.
Yeah. Well,
I think I only ever recorded twice when I was actually playing, and it was full of swearing all the way through. So I thought, no.
I would have loved to see that video. I mean, I couldn't even imagine you saying a cuss word, John.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously.
Yeah, it's been known on occasion, yeah.
I need to pay more attention. Okay, so the areas are color coded basically, and that doesn't always apply in all the areas. Like when you go into some of the towns, the areas are split up into 3 different parts of that town too. So you could go to one area and get a Pokemon, and then go down to another one, and then go down.
Even though you're in the same town, you still have different areas of the town.
Right.
So you're eligible. I got you.
And just so you know, before next year, if you want to do like a test run with me and just play around, we can do it. That way you can kind of get a clue of what you're doing.
I was thinking about that when you were talking about it. I was going to probably get on an emulator and see what I can do, but I wasn't going to tell you until I actually did it, because sometimes I get ready to do stuff and I don't do it, and then I do something else instead.
No, I'm gonna give you freaking warning ahead of time, man. That music is freaking brainwashing. It's insane. Like the Pokemon sound, that background music. It makes you go crazy.
Hopefully, it'll replace my brain with alien brain.
Oh, it'd be worse.
How'd you turn it off?
You think an alien brain would be worse than my brain? I'm so tired of my brain.
Well, I could have turned it off. I don't know. I could see, actually. I don't know if I could or not, to be honest with you.
Alright, okay.
Because it's a older game, but I don't see why it wouldn't. Well, I probably could have.
Yeah.
That would have pissed off Rapid real good.
Just silence. You don't want to talk during the game.
I'll talk all you want, BT, buddy. I'm turning this freaking music off.
I'll talk, but it's on my terms. No music.
Man, you just freaking made my day, John.
It's my way or the highway.
Oh, but he's cunning. Okay, it's supposed to be the Irish that are the cunning, but he's Scottish, and I don't understand that. Where he's so cunning, like he's suave about it. You know what I mean? He's like, I just want you to play the gems. That's all I want you to do is play the gems. And then all of a sudden I beat all the gems, and he's like, well, why don't you go on over there and beat the not the colleges, but the academy. And I'm like, man, I thought you said all I had to do was play.
Yeah. Right. Now I'm a scholar.
Yeah. He's smooth about it. He got me good, you know. So, we've already gone over the player blacking out, right? Oh, yeah.
50 points.
Yeah, and now we did the areas. And the areas are important too, because like if you ever decide to do this again with another group, they don't allow what Rapid does on his, because like Rapid allows you to go in and choose which ones that you want, but in a lot of these Nuzlockes, it's the first encounter that you have. So if you freaking play with Rapid, you go in and the first one that spawns up that wants to fight you, if you don't want to fight or if you don't want to capture him, you can just run. Okay.
Okay.
But
I thought you. Oh, okay. So you don't have to capture him, but in most ones you do have to, right?
Right. In most of them, like if you get a first encounter, then you have to capture that Pokemon in that area. Okay. If you fight them. So. Like, but with Rapid, like, well, like if you can still run in other people's games, alright? But the thing of it is you can't capture any other Pokemon in that area. You have to go into the next and capture it there. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. But with Rapid, like say you don't want to capture that Pokemon in that area, you can run and then stay in that area and capture the Pokemon you want.
Okay.
So, that was another one I had a hard time with. I actually got my nephew pissed off because he caught 2 Pokemon in the same area, and I told him, I was like, well, you can't capture 2 Pokemon in the same area. You have to release one. And he turned around and got so mad he never played with me again.
Stop it!
Yeah, I told him, I was like, dude, that's not even our rules. That's like that's a general rule in playing Nuzlocke. Like, got upset with me. So I was looking forward to it too, cause like he was always big on Pokemon, you know. But
He didn't want to play anymore because he had to follow the rules. Trust me, I understand.
spoiled little brat.
I
He's in his
advocate
20s
for
too. You know, he's in his 20s too, and he's still a spoiled little brat.
It's going to be hard for me to disassociate with that because I'm a bit of a spoiled little brat, especially if it's like, it's like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm kind of here for spoiled brats. You're not going to get, you're not going to get me to stray away from us. Pop-Up would love you too, though, I'm sure.
Basically, it says only one Pokemon can be captured per area. Can't capture another one from the same location, route, cave as previous captured Pokemon. As a previous captured Pokemon. Now, this is where his accent got me, you know what I mean? Because he said that, and then I literally had to have him rewrite it to where it was a little bit better English, you know? And, because for me, like, that right there is not really that clear. But for him and for Cosmic, it sounded perfectly clear, you know?
Make perfect sense.
I literally had to tell him, I know, but you're Scottish. You know? It's like, and they couldn't comprehend that. To them, they're speaking like perfect English and shit, you know? And
Yeah, no, I can imagine. It's like going for the hood and telling them that they're not pronouncing the word.
So I like, and this right here is the older version, so you kind of get an idea of what I was talking about. Like, he actually went onto his Discord and rewrote it, made it a little bit clearer, so.
It's more universal.
Now, the first encounter rule does not apply, and that's the one I was telling you about just now.
That if you lose or whatever, you only get the 1 point taken off, yeah.
Really, with the first encounter rule, the thing that you have to remember, like if you're playing somebody else's Nuzlocke, not this one, and you run from a fight, you can't capture another Pokemon in that area. You have to wait until you get to the next area. You know what I mean?
I do now. I hear what you're saying. That's what you were saying, though. Throughout, the only time you can do it is if you're in the same town, but it's a different area of the town, and that's when you're allowed to. Okay, okay.
Now that rule doesn't apply in Rapids games. So like you can run from the fight and pick which one you want to capture in that area. So
can you still get attacked if you're running? Like they can chase you if they want to?
Oh yeah. Well, they don't chase you. Well, I don't know if they do in Gen 2. What happens is, like, you'll be walking through a grassy field, and all of a sudden, the battle will pop up, and you'll have to fight a Pokemon. So, I haven't played Gen 2 before. I've only played Gen 1, and that's how it happened there, so. Now, after that, in each area, you must run from each wild Pokemon until you find the one that you wish to capture. Now that's the part I was just telling you about. Now, if the player forgets this, he will not lose any Nuzlocke points, but the Pokemon captured is disqualified. So that one's disqualified, and you must go to the first Pokemon, and you hold up, but the Pokemon captured is disqualified. You must go with the first Pokemon you battle in that area if you wish to capture that Pokemon. So that's the only one you can have, and the only way to get rid of that one that's disqualified is you have to go to the Poke Center and release it.
Well, I'm confused because what would disqualify it?
If it, like, say you captured one Pokemon already.
Oh, from the same area, and then okay, I got you.
That's what pissed my nephew off because he he caught 2 Pokemon in the same area, and I told him you have to freaking release one, or you have to release the second one because it was disqualified. And that's a general Nuzlocke rule. That's the way it is with all of them when you go through and you play them. So, like, you can only do one of them in that area. You can't capture 2 of them. That's the general rule. Now, if the Pokemon is disqualified, it must be released as soon as possible, and you must go to your first choice in that area. That means the first one that you chose to capture. Now, the Safari Zone is made up of 4 areas. In this instance, you are allowed to have / capture 1 Pokemon for each of the 4 areas if you choose. So if you want to go in and capture 4 Pokemon in the Safari Zone, then you can. Alright, so those are the basic rules right there for that.
And that's the only place you can capture 4?
No, there's actually a couple other places, like Bill's house, or what's his name, Bob's house or something. You can capture 1 there, and then in the same area there's a field over to the side that you go through before you get to the town. You can capture another one there. So there's a couple other places too. Now,
I got the rule you just scrolled up, rule 2, about the Pokemon fainting. I just thought, how does a Pokemon faint?
in battle, when their energy bar drops to 0.
Right, okay.
Like, they start out with a full bar of energy, and when they're depleted, they're dead. So that's usually the
So
term.
fainting and dying is the same thing?
Yeah, for a Pokemon. Now, with you, if you lose all your Pokemon, you black out and you're dead. That's if you lose all your Pokemon.
Right.
So, but with a Pokemon, when they run out of an energy bar, yeah, that's considered a permadeath. Okay. So let me make sure I'm right where I need to be. Now, gaining points. You guys heard about how to lose points, so this will go over how you gain points, which isn't really much funner.
Yeah, because you said there's only one way to gain points, right?
Yeah. Okay, gaining points. There's only one way to earn points on this adventure, and that is by beating a gym leader, for which the trainer will earn 25 points for every gym leader that they beat. Now, this doesn't mean like 25 points for every person in the gym. It just means the gym leader that's at the end of it. Okay? So when you go into these gyms, there's a good chance you're going to get in a fight with about 4 or 5 people. Maybe, I think the first one with Brock is only 1 person that you have to fight. And then you fight Brock, but you don't get any points for fighting his assistant. You get points for fighting him. And that's 25 points for each gym leader. Okay. Now, a total of 200 points can be earned in a single run, given that there's only 8 gym leaders in total. So you can, well, that answers that question. 8 gyms with 8 gym leaders. So for every one that you beat, you get 25 points, and with a total of 200 points. And points may also be earned by beating. Points may also be earned by beating the same gym leaders after a reset has happened. So, say you have to reset because you blacked out and you have to start the game over.
Yeah.
So you turn around and you go and you fight Brock again after you fought him one time, then that means you can actually get 25 more points from fighting him again.
Well, it does. That makes sense because you're starting the game over.
Well, it allows you to. Well, you're gonna start over on that reset with like a loss of at least 50 points, because like you died and you lose 50 points. So, like if you go and you fight Brock, you'll end up getting 50 points added, which will bring you back up to 250. You know what I mean?
I thought you said that if you restart the game, you can start with the same 150. That's not the case.
No. What happens is, like, if you die from a blackout and you have 200 points, then you deduct 50 points. You start the game over, and at that point, you only have $150 or 150 points. I was talking dollars now.
I see.
But when you start that game and you go, say, fight Brock again, say you already fought him, all right, and you got 50 points. If you go fight him again, then that means you can get 50 more points from him again for fighting him.
I got you.
So that's,
in which case, dying is not so horrible if you can defeat him again anyway.
But you still only get 25 points for beating him. So.
So no, because then you lose more for when you die. You lose 50.
Yeah, you lose 50. It'd take 2 gems to catch you up to where you were before. So. Now, on the side note, while this sounds like a normal Nuzlocke challenge, be aware this is not a normal challenge at all. Each player will not only participate in the challenge, but that player will also be verified by this group and scored according to another person's evaluation of their gameplay videos. Now that was something I added in with mine, so I have a feeling that we're using my altered version of it. So that is something I wanted to point out on a side note, because a lot of people have mentioned that whenever we were doing our videos, that this is actually verified. Like, it's not self-imposed, because I was towards the end of my videos, I was telling people that it's a self-imposed challenge, okay? And somebody told me that no, this isn't self-imposed because you're allowing somebody else to grade your score. So I kind of made a difference to me, you know what I mean? Because this is a verified gameplay if you allow somebody else to do it. So don't get butt hurt. That's all I gotta say. So like I said, this isn't a self-imposed challenge. You are actually being challenged. You are actually being challenged by us, and you are showing us your skill at these games. So congratulations. If you win, you are now a verified god at all of the Pokemon Gen 1 Nuzlocks. Yeah. He might have wrote that.
You said I wrote it?
He might have wrote that, 'cause I wouldn't write anything cheesy like
I was
that.
about to say,
That's something that Rappy would write. Now, after reaching the final gym, your adventure is over. That's what, yeah, this is my changes, okay? So, after you reach the final gym, your adventure is over, but you can choose to go further into the league with us if you wish to, okay? It is your choice. Now, that's where I want it to end right there, okay? But you have a choice of going in to the freaking, what is it again? The academy. You don't have to if you don't want to. Alright? Now, then after that, if you choose to go into the league, you have league rules and everything changes. Because I'll tell you right now, I mean, if you want to play freaking the Nuzlocke, the first part is going to be relatively easy, okay?
Okay.
But once you get to the freaking to the league, which is the league, I was wrong. Still, I was wrong. But once you get to the league, that's where things start getting hectic, especially when you start going towards the end. And that's why Rapid did his changes on the points, which I agree with, because like this is insane. It really is. The last part is. If you have made it this far, you deserve a pat on the back. However, to ensure that this Nuzlocke has a definitive and has a definitive end, certain adjustments to the rules have had to be made, while others may cease to exist here. Okay, this is the league after all, so it will be tough. Now, losing points. In the league, to lose points, one, the nickname will still, the nickname still applies, and the nickname still applies here, and as before, it is a loss of 5 points, so you still have to nickname your Pokemon. And two, the Pokemon that,
Oh, but it's only 5 points if you don't nickname it. Once you get to the league, at least it's not 10, because it's 10 otherwise, right?
No, it's 5 at the. No, it's 10 if you use healing potions and stuff like that. So,
okay.
and if they faint, I believe is what it was. Okay, Pokemon that faint, whether in battle or away from the fight, i.e. faint due to poisoning, is still a loss of 10 points. So that's what
I was thinking about.
That's what you're talking about. Now, as before, any use of health or effects for healing items is a loss of 20 points. So the healing effects and everything, that's still 20 points to use them. Reviving a Pokemon or buying one back in after dice roll is a loss of 25 points. Now the dice roll is where things change here, okay? But it's a loss of 25 points. Now 5, blackouts no longer result in a 50-point loss. So you don't have a 50-point loss, and you don't have a hard reset where you have to start the game over, okay? Mm-hmm. And this ensures that the game doesn't loop it on itself. So, like, once you make it into the league and you freaking end up, blacking out, they don't want you to have to reset the game and do it all over again, okay? So you don't lose 50 points in the league, and you don't have to do a hard reset.
Okay, but you maintain the amount of points you have, or you're able to score more points still once you enter the league, or there's more of those gems that you can fight or whatever.
Now, once you get into the league, there's no more points.
Battles?
There's no more points.
But you can lose points, but you cannot get points?
Right.
That's wild.
And that's where that's where it gets really hard. I mean, see, before you get to this league, you better know how to kick butt and have some points stocked up, because.
But you can only get a certain amount of points anyway. Let's just say you make a perfect game. The max you can get is 351. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right. And you got a budget. I mean, you got a budget. You got to know, like I told you, I
wouldn't want to go in the league, because as long as I'm out of the league, am I able to keep battling gems and getting more points? Like, if I stay out of the league and I've already battled all the gems, I can battle them gems again without dying and then get more points, or no?
No, game's over.
Oh, I see.
You've beaten the gems, but you haven't beaten the game. So if you want to beat the game, It's your choice to go in and play the rules
I
or
see.
the league
The
rules.
league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my stipulation though, because I know that there's a lot of people who don't really want to go in and play the leagues. It's pretty tough. So, I mean, only a few people actually enjoy playing the leagues. Being honest, it is really hard. So, but with Rapid, he'll probably want us to do the freaking leagues. So this is like my version. If you ever want to do one of these with me,
Okay.
um, where you have a choice of either continuing through the league or not. So, but let me see. No, now let me. Blacking out no longer results in a 50-point loss plus hard reset to ensure the game doesn't loop on itself. Instead, the player loses 10 points per fallen Pokemon as mentioned previously. Total up to 60 points depending on the party. Plus an additional 10 points for losing the league, as well as a dice roll. See below. So you lose 10 points for each Pokemon that's fallen, and total up to 60 points depending on party, the size of your party, and additional 10 points for losing the league. So you lose 10 points, and say if you have 30 Pokemon or 3 Pokemon that died, that would be 40 points. And then you have to do the dice roll, and that is now on 6 it says the one Pokemon per area rule is no longer in effect. Now you can now you have reached the league, and the entire map is now open to you. This is to allow you the chance to build up your team. You build up a team. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. You said you built up a team.
Okay.
Maybe you heard me push the chair in.
I don't know. I heard some weird noise.
Mm.
Okay. This allows you to build up a team should you need to, and yes, you can catch multiple monsters from the same area if you need to. So basically, he's saying that you can catch as many Pokemon in all the areas that you need to. It doesn't have the one Pokemon per area rule anymore.
Oh, okay. So that's another good thing about being in the league. The only whack part is that you don't get any points. You do all of this and your score stays the same. You can like basically die yourself out, or
I'm
that's
telling you, man. I had this same conversation with Rapid. Like, there's really no benefit for doing this other than saying you beat the game. That's it. There's no reward. It's like, oh, good, pat on the back, you beat the game. And that's it.
right. And I mean, like you can still play it.
Yeah. Now the dice decides. This one's where it gets messed up too. If a player reaches blackout, then that player will need to roll a virtual dice. The number the dice lands on will determine which Pokemon in the same numbering position in your party must be discarded from your party. So that means you have to number, like on your Pokemon list, you'll have the top one, that'll be 1. The one that's second underneath it is 2, and then 3. And like usually you have 6 of them in there. So you'll have 1 to 6. If you roll a 4, then that 4th Pokemon has to be freaking eliminated from your team. It has to be discarded.
Oh, so it picks which ones you're gonna have eliminated. You don't. It just from the roll of the die. I got you.
Yeah, and that's from blacking out and dying, going through the league. Now, It's then up to you if you want to buy the Pokemon back, but that will work the same as a revive and cost you 25 extra points. So if you want to buy them back, you can buy that Pokemon back, but it's going to cost you 25 points.
I see.
Okay, so alternatively, you can pull another Pokemon from your PC if it was stored and not dead, and in its you can pull it up in its place or catch another Pokemon, and that is basically a waste of time because, like, at this point, you've made your Pokemon stronger, and they're able to fight against these enemies. But like, you go out and catch another one, then that means you got to build these Pokemon up to be just as strong as the one that you had, if not stronger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like I don't want to say how I'm correlating it in order for me to comprehend it because it's wild, but yeah, I get it.
You literally have to go through the entire game again to freaking build up your Pokemon to be strong enough to fight them. So, like, for me personally, I would just, if I had the extra points, I'd just buy the Pokemon back, you know.
Right.
But that's what I avoid using the potions for and everything is for this right here.
So when you get towards the end, or once you get into the academy, you're able to use it, but it's not frivolously, but you have more leniency to be able to.
Yeah, and it's actually where you need to use it, especially on the Pokemon Yellow. I've watched Cosmic and Cosmic and Glitch play the other ones, the red ones and the blue ones, and they're not even close to as hard as what the yellow was. So, but right here is where I needed them. I mean, in these fights, because the battles on the last two, I'll give it. I'll tell you that much. They aren't no joke. So as before.
Oh my gosh, he's playing Minecraft and he's yelling. Hold on.
So as before, with game or gym leaders, the Elite Four are the only ones that you can gain that can grant you 25 points when beaten. However, this is a one-time offer for each member of the team, so you can't farm for points. So with the Elite Four, you go from one battle to the next one. You can't go backwards. You have to go from one battle right into the next one until you make it to the last battle. And for every each one of them that you beat, you get 25 points. And that's a one-time deal. So if you have to start back over and go back through them again, and you've already beaten those, you can't do like you did in the other one. You only get it one time. So, and so that's basically the rules. I don't know if you heard that or not, Karma.
No, the last part I didn't. I was handling something, okay. But
it's just a short sentence. I can read it to you. Now, this is where you can actually gain points. I was wrong about that. As before, with the gym leaders, the Elite Four are the only ones that you can grant you 25 points when beaten. However, this is a one-time offer from each member of the four, so you can't farm for points. And basically what you do is you start out, you go in and you fight the first of the four, or the Elite Four, and there's no going backwards. Like, you can't leave and come back in. Alright? After you beat that first one, you go to the second one. And then if you beat that one, you go to the third one and on to the fourth one. Now, each time you beat one of them, you gain 25 points. So you'll get 25 points for each battle you beat. But that's only one time. So if you have to start over at the beginning and go back through them again,
Yeah.
and you have to fight them one more time,
Yeah.
then you don't get 25 points again. So.
Oh wait, hold on. So that's the only way you can get points in the league then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just basically a one-time deal. But if you go, like, if you beat two of them and you die on the third one, when you start over again, you can still get points from the third one because you didn't beat them.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So as long as you haven't already beaten them, you can still get points for them. But if you die even after you've already beaten them once, you're not allowed to go get points for them again, even though you'll still have to defeat them again. I got it.
Right. So that's basically the rules right there. So on that, and then later on, you can probably go through and do some trial runs. And if you want, we can do like you were talking about. We can play the game on here and talk to one another while we're doing it.
Okay. I'm gonna see what I can do in regards to getting on there and just getting familiarized with it, and then I'll let you know. I have a show to do tonight, so I'm gonna do that tonight during the witching hour sometime.
Okay. Sounds good. And we can meet back up here too, and I can show you how to get the emulators and everything hooked up. Good to go. I'll find out from Rapid which emulator we need to use for Gen 2.
Okay.
Because I want to do some trial runs on this one too.
What did you use last time?
Last time we used Gambit, but I don't know for sure if we can use Gambit for Gen 2.
Okay.
So let me find that out and everything. So.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I guess we could end it here.
Yeah, no, thank you for going through all of that with me because I have a clear understanding. Like I said, I'm going to get on the vault and see what I can do in regards to learning a little bit because I've never played the video game Pokemon. So, like, I can't, and it's been so long since I've fooled around with the cards. Like, I'm not well versed at all, but I mean, I can become so that's cool. I learn anything that I put my mind to, and I'm usually super fast at learning. So.
Plus, we can do it together too. You know what I mean? If you need help on, like when you're in the game, I can kind of tell you that this is how it needs to be done, and this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, I'm gonna holler at you. That's the same thing I had to do with OBS. The video, I chopped it just so it didn't have the top of your like movie deck or whatever. Not movie deck, but your computer screens and stuff like that. I did chop it in order for it to not have that. But I was thinking I was going to probably just do it the way it is. I didn't really. I listened to it. I don't really want to edit because with editing, it makes it to where you miss some stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that idea. So I was going to post it up on the 22nd as well because the 22nd is a good synchronicity day. But if I don't post it the 22nd, I actually might do it the 23rd because it's 23, and so that'll mean something. I'm going to just line up the numbers and do the correlation and see which numbers will be better effective for what it is anyway. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I already have it ready to go. I was going to put it on Rumble last night. I just haven't figured out. Well, like I said, I cut it down, so I cropped it so I don't have the top. And then, like, Jitsi, because Jitsi's not getting free advertising for me. And so I just will see which day I like better in regards to that subject matter. Like, I have to do a show today, 122. And I know, though, it's 23. So 232. And then 323, and so I'm just gonna see which one works better as regards to the subject, and then I'll put it out at the appropriate time. But it'll be up between the next 2 days. I already got it, how I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, she's talking about her first interview with me, and I made a mistake the other night. I know I didn't know that you'd already done interviews. So
that was so long ago, though. Like that's why I was saying it, and it was completely different. So I was working on Station Head, like I told you, that app. And when I was on there, I was one of the.
It's good though, because now I know, and you know what I mean. I mean, we can actually like get some good stuff started. I was thinking I was gonna have to like use kid gloves with you and stuff, and guide you through everything.
Yeah,
So.
put spoon feed me and chop it, grind all the bananas down in the blender, and then spoon feed me. No,
Yeah.
I'm a little, I like to be
Yeah.
fed, but I mean, I can eat big girl food. No,
We'll
I'm just
try. We'll
saying.
try out some kid meals, at McDonald's and shit. You know.
Yeah, first.
The-
And then, did you want a big girl meal? Did you want a big girl meal? Yes, can I
oh
have
shit.
a big girl meal, please? Yeah. But definitely. Yeah, like I said, I was at first I was like one of the only people really doing interviews on that app, and then like I said, it was a crazy situation, so I kind of felt back off of it. But that's why I really got that was really my first experience for doing interviews. I've done interviews for like people, like my mom's doctor's office did like interviews with the doctors and the doctors' kids, and we were all in like a little commercial thingy or whatever like that. Like that was where someone interviewed me. But my experience with interviews come from like, it's usually artists, so it's different type of questioning. Just like I
Mhm.
like this one because it gives me a little bit more experience. Because with me, when I'm doing the music interviews, I tend to attempt to keep it as focused on the music as possible, not getting too much in their personal. And so
Mhm.
with this though, for me, I feel like it's important to kind of indulge into some of the personal aspects because it's a personal interview. And we were talking about his experience with Disney, but I feel like I didn't even ask like a lot of opinionated questions that you and I had spoke about before in regards to like how do you, well, we talked a little bit about the symbolism that's
Mhm.
found in the Disney's and stuff like that, but like just like how do
You
you
did.
stand on
You
it, where
did
you stand
actually.
on it?
I think you used your judgment call because you know he's like a big old teddy bear. You don't want to break
Yeah,
his
and I didn't
heart.
want to like, yeah, like even with me telling my experiences, it's like
I
I
knew
don't want to
exactly.
ruin you.
I
I
knew
don't want to ruin
exactly what it
you.
was about. He's like, it's just you don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I don't want to.
Like,
Like, I'm not gonna be the one to hurt you. Life is gonna hurt you enough. They hurt me, baby. Trust me.
exactly.
I don't want
I
you to
was on
turn
the
out like me.
I was on the same page with you, man.
At least
Trust
you
me.
got that part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but it
still,
was. So you thought it was a good? You thought we did good? You
yeah,
thought
I
it was
think it
alright?
was an excellent show. I mean, I
Cool.
really do. I think it was excellent. So,
And you don't think he hates us too much, especially
oh
like I
no, he
wasn't too
loves us.
invasive or.
He
Okay,
he
cool,
loves
cool,
us.
cool, cool.
Now he's
Alrighty.
Zach, Magic Disney Zach said he's gonna be on tonight if you want to come on and hang out with him while he's doing his stream and stuff.
He's
So
doing it on Discord, right? Eight
yeah,
o'clock. I saw that.
yeah,
So yeah, he said he might even turn voice on and chat with us a bit. So
yeah,
yeah, no, I probably will step in for a little bit. The boys were, I thought they were, when I first checked in, they were yelling. It was because they were playing the game. This time it was because they were fighting each other. So I'm gonna have to address
yeah.
those type of issues and then get to where I have to go in regards, and then hopefully, yeah, I just might screen share it and let them watch him too. So then it kind of be like a family type thing. Maybe play some Uno while we do it or whatever, and
Yeah.
that way they can kind of like step away from the iPad, step away from the
Hmm.
iPad, and stop going crazy. So cool. Yeah, no, I probably will tune in a bit.
All right. Well, let's end this and we'll talk later.
Okay.
I'll get this video set up and ready to go. And I still got to interview somebody tonight, Mr. Robot. He's at 10 o'clock p.m. So, and
10 o'clock
that's
p.m. my time.
just going to be 11 your time. So,
Okay, yeah, that's great because like I said, my show's in the middle of the night. It won't really start until 10:22. So
okay.
I'll pull up.
All right. And
Alrighty then.
I will see you in a little bit.
Alrighty, have a good night. Be safe.
You too.
Thank you.
All right. I'm glad you guys came by to watch. Hopefully you enjoyed, and good night.